Hi, welcome again to this episode of Outlaw Eco Build. If you're joining us from the very start, here's our house which we constructed last year. And if you have followed us since we made the YouTube channel, you will remember that back in May we started an extension of the house. You probably remember this scene where our house extension was still just a pile of bags. Today I want to show you the full time lapse of that build, and I'm going to explain a little bit as we go how we did that. And this will be a summary because of course it's not possible to cover all the details, but if you check out the videos then you will find some more in-depth explanations of these this process. So here we are laying the first bags of our gravel stem wall. So these are double bagged polyurethane bags, and they're filled with gravel. The first two courses we did like this to bring the earth wall up away from any possibility of getting wet. Here's the room as it is today. We've already completed the full earth bag walls, and Nick's put the roof on, and I have finished the cob. And today you are joining us as we're at that almost finished stage. So here we are right back at the beginning with our gravel foundations. Unfortunately we don't have the footage of this area being dug out, but that was done by a good friend, the digger driver, who dug out this area of the hill. It's actually the part of the first terrace on our land is the bottom terrace on the hill, and the space there is dug out from the second terrace. We had to pre-fill a lot of the bags for this build, firstly because it's easier for us. We don't use that traditional method of filling the bag in place on the wall because we have Nick and he's more than capable and strong enough to lift up the bags on top of the wall, although that did nearly ruin him toward the end. And secondly, we pre-filled those bags because the earth that we dug away from this hill was actually in a big pile there on the site where we wanted to build the house. So we needed to move the earth anyway, and it made sense to move it just the one time into the bags rather than moving it all and then filling the bags and then moving it all back. So here we are on the first course of earth bags. We've laid the gravel bags and then the first course of earth bags, and we marked out there where we wanted to install the doors. And Nick built these box frames, as they're known, which are a kind of wooden, a very sturdy wooden frame that will hold open the space in the wall where you want the doors in the future. This is not a door frame, it's not going to stay in there, but it's used to withstand the force of the bags on either side, that you can tamper all the bags super well, or if you're unfamiliar with that term, to pack down the earth, as you can see Nick doing there with that big, it's actually a pressure cooker pot filled with cement with a stick in, I think. It's his own creation. So that you can build up those walls around the box forms, and in the end you can remove the box forms and install your doors or windows or whatever it might be in the opening in the building. So this room is the extension to the rest of the house. You can't see in this video the rest of the house because it's connected with that box that you can see there. It was previously the truck. And the same digger friend I mentioned earlier came and helped us take that down off the back of the Mercedes truck and placed the box there in place that we could build the house around it. So this is actually built into the house, and this room on the end will be the bedroom for our eldest son, and the box of the truck, we still call it the truck, will form two more bedrooms for middle and smallest ones. And it's connected at the front there with a kind of conservatory that's all glass, and where we keep a lot of our plants. One of my favorite rooms in the house. So yeah, here we have the extra bedroom. We're about halfway up the walls there. Nick is here measuring out the spaces where we will install some windows. In our house built last year, we installed all regular square windows, but in this case, you can see here, we decided to experiment with these kind of concrete rings, which will not only be the form for holding open the bags, we're actually going to leave those in there, and they will become the window frames. And I guess kind of like a shelf inside the room, because we will place the glass toward the outside. So we placed those where we wanted them on the wall, leaving enough space on either side that it's not too close to the end of any wall, so as not to affect the structure. And we basically just built up the bags around them. We installed the barbed wire as instructed in the kind of continuous ring on either side, and also a ring in the middle on those middle bags between the windows, until the bags were high enough that we could just put a barbed wire row again all the way around from door frame to door frame over the top of the round windows. And then we continued with several more courses of earth bags until we were up to roof height. And that's pretty simple. So we've got like a 4 by 3 meter room here. We managed to complete this in, I think, around 10 weeks, 8 to 10 weeks, in our spare time. It was not a full-time project. We did this after work and weekends, although that I don't mean to make that sound easier than it was. It was a lot of work, but fairly straightforward and simple for sure by comparison to the house, which was, if you check out our first video, the time lapse of the full house, this was a lot more work, and I think it took us around 6 months. But I think still that's quite a quick method of building, especially when you're doing it yourself. And yeah, there's many benefits to this way of building anyway. The price also, the cost effectiveness, although it is much cheaper than conventional building and a lot more eco-friendly, it is a lot more labor intensive. But there's something really rewarding about that too, using your own hands to build your own home. So here we're up to roof height. The bags on either side are the desired height. We decided to do the left hand side of the building a little bit taller than the right, as you can see here, that you have a kind of slope on the roof to allow the rain to run away and good drainage, because we will install a green roof on here. We did this also with our house, and we're going to do a full episode to explain all of that, because this is a super cool way to build a roof. We really like that. So there's Nick going in with the tongue and groove, which is the first layer after the roof beams. The roof beams are eucalyptus poles. Nick cut them down himself from the forest on a neighbour's land here with permission. And yeah, there's that tongue and groove. That's just standard stuff from the DIY store. I began the cob here. So there's a whole episode this week, the latest episode, the last one from this one is a full lowdown on the cob, the recipe and the application, and yeah, how to make the ratios right, that you get a good sticky cob mixture, and some tips and tricks. I love this phase of the build. The cob really makes it look a lot less like a pack of stacked bags. And there's Nick putting in there the insulation boards, and you will have to wait for the next episode on the roof to see more of that. We're going to do a full episode on how we did this roof and tell you how we did the green roof and what we found was the best way for that project. And yeah, coming soon, we'll hopefully be able to show you this finished build. We have now some render to go on there, the lime render, some windows to install, the green roof to finish, and then interior fixtures. We're going to also share with you how we did the electricity. We have a bit more of a simple way to do that than the traditional way with these earthbag buildings. And some tiles to lay, and then I think we can paint and put some furniture in there, and the room is ready. So stay tuned for how this turns out in the end. We're going to share all the details on that with you. And as always, if you have any questions, if there's something we missed out or I didn't make clear, please let me know. I'll be happy to clear that up for you. And yeah, let us know in the comments below what you think of this video and any other information that you would like to know. We'll be happy to share that with you. We hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for your time to watch this and your support. Please like and subscribe if you like what you saw here, and have a great week. We'll see you next week.